Okay, today we are going to discuss essay writing. Let us start. First thing is how to write an essay. Number one, essay. The origin of the word essay is, in fact, it's a French word in origin. In origin, this word is a French word and it means to try, to attempt. So when you want to write a short composition on a given topic, and that is your own perspective, that is called an essay. It's usually short in prose, and the length of the essay may vary from 250 words to 3,000 words. That is up to different exams. So today we are going to write a short essay, and we will learn how to write it. First thing is, whenever you're going to write, first thing in essay, that is, planning is the key. What we do, we usually go for writing the essay directly. No, that is not the way. Students take pen and paper and they start writing without any planning, thinking. The most important thing, that is thinking, or brainstorming, or mind mapping, or basically generating ideas. That is the key. If you can generate ideas, you'll be able to write a proper essay. If you cannot generate ideas, you won't be able to, because in essay there are two things which are important. One is, what are you going to write? And number two is, how are you going to write it? So these two things are the most important thing. And how can you do it? You will have to, number one, you must follow 3 steps. Step number 1, 2, and 3. What are those 3 steps? Step number 1, step number 2, and step number 3. These 3 steps approach number 1, first one, number 2, and then it is number 3. First one is, that's called pre-writing stage. It is called pre-writing stage. Second stage, that is called the writing stage. It is called the writing stage. And the third stage is called the rewriting stage. That is called rewriting stage. First, pre-writing stage, then writing stage, and then rewriting. In pre-writing stage, think about the topic. Read the topic carefully. Read the topic. Try to understand and interpret the topic. Try to understand and interpret the topic. And then brainstorm. Ask yourself questions about the topic. Apply WH formula, WH words. Apply WH words to generate more ideas. WH words. And like what, when, where, why. When, where, why. And categorize the topic. Is it about art, science, education, or medicine? What is it about? And once you generate, so here basically your purpose is generate ideas. Generate ideas. And when you are going to write the essay, don't worry about words or other things. You must have ideas. Once you have ideas, words will automatically swarm into your mind. Don't worry about words or facts or figures. It's good if you have facts and figures, that is not important. First thing is understanding the topic. That is the key, because if you don't understand the topic, you may go off topic. You may not be able to approach it properly. So first step is understanding the topic. That is the key. If the topic is money can buy us happiness or not, here the point is happiness is the central idea, whether we can buy it by money or through other factors. Education is the single most important factor for the development of a nation. So for development, is education the only factor, or there are other factors as well? Who lives longer, men or women? So here, longevity, that is the central idea. Longer life, that is the central idea. Now point number 1 is whether men live longer or 2. Capital punishment must be abolished. Here, capital punishment is the key idea, whether it should be abolished or it should not be abolished. Child labor must be abolished, or is child labor justified? So here, child labor is the key idea. spending money on space exploration is a complete waste. So here, your focus will be space exploration, whether we should spend money on space exploration or no, we should spend money on other things, So you will have to understand the key idea, because 25% marks are for the key idea. If you don't focus the topic, if you don't concentrate on the topic, if you don't understand the topic, you may miss the point, so 25% marks are gone. And so that is why read it 3 times, understand the topics, find out what is the nucleus, the central idea, and what are the peripheral ideas, and then you'll have to go for A's. That is the key. Number 2, first step is understand the topic, and then generate ideas. And according to the given statement, for example, if the statement says, do you agree or disagree? Or to what extent do you agree or disagree? Or how far do you agree or disagree with the statement? In that case, you will have to develop an argument. You will have to give your opinion in the beginning, and then your essay will be based on argument. But if it says, discuss both views, like animals should be used for drug testing or not, it is cruelty to them. Parenting is considered the most important factor for children, and role of mothers, that is more important than the role of fathers. Or role of fathers ought to be emphasized as much as role of mothers. Discuss both views and give your opinion. So if this is the topic, it means your body paragraph will be balanced. Both views. You will discuss both. Or sometime you are told to discuss the positive and negative side. And also you will have to keep in mind that if it is agree or disagree, you will have to give your opinion in the beginning, and then arguments, and then if it is discuss both views or discuss the positive and negative sides or advantages and disadvantages, in that case, you will have to look at the instructions. If the instructions state that, they say that you will have to discuss both views and give your opinion. In that case, you will give your opinion at the end. Otherwise, you will not. So understanding the instructions and following the instructions, that is also a very important factor while you are writing an essay. So number 1, pre-writing stage. Number 2, and here in this stage, you can discuss in the classroom with your teacher. Number 2, you can discuss with your class fellows. Number 3, search the internet. That's a very important source. Books as well, because always remember one thing, and that is human beings are the only species who have stored more knowledge outside of their bodies than inside. All other species have knowledge inside their bodies, But human beings have more knowledge stored outside the bodies, like in books, CDs, USBs, computer, Google, even Google. And even Google, that we see that it has information, it has only 4% we have. Then there is deep web, dark web, and there are so many, 96% knowledge is there. So it's huge source of knowledge that is in books, in internet, on different websites. You will have to try to do some research. That will be good for you, but knowledge is not, first thing is format of the essay, understanding the topic, and ideas, that is the key. If you have ideas, you can write a very good essay, whether you have not, because you can include your personal examples as well. Most of you are educated, you are grown-up people, and for essay writing, the format and the ideas are important. Supporting details can be, if you can give examples, that's good. If you cannot, don't worry about it. Include your personal examples. Sometimes in the instructions, it is already stated that you can include your personal examples in your essay. So there's no harm in that, and don't be intimidated. Don't feel intimidated by the topic that, I don't have a lot of information or knowledge, so I cannot write. No, you can. You can write the essay. First, you will have to search after finalizing the points. Then in writing stage here, what you'll have to do, only one word you'll have to keep in mind, and that is organize your essay. And how do you organize? You will organize it into 3 parts. Number 1, how to start. Number 2, how to develop. Number 3, how to end the essay. 3 steps. Start means introduction. Here, usually you paraphrase the given topic. You paraphrase the given topic. How do you paraphrase the given topic? You underline the keywords, then you rewrite, and you're like, money can buy us happiness. Money, think of synonyms. Wealth, riches, affluence, can buy us, can, may, might, is likely to, buy, purchase, barter, exchange, bring, happiness, delight, joy, mirth, gaiety. So there are a lot of words. You can think of these words, and then you can change them. Like wealth may purchase delight. The same idea. Idea, we're not changing the idea, but words are our own words. You will have to write, because otherwise it will be plagiarism. In the very beginning of the essay, if you copy, examiner will either feel bad about it or examiner will not count it. These words will not be counted because you've taken from the question. So that is why try to be original. Develop, a personal touch. A personal touch in your essay. That is what makes your essay. So paraphrase it and then develop it. Your development will be according to the given topic and whether you have been given this freedom to take your position or not. Like if it is, do you agree or disagree? It means you have freedom. You will have to take your position in the beginning and then you will have to develop arguments, more than one. But if the topic says discuss both views and full stop, now you don't have your freedom. You will have to paraphrase the topic, you will have to discuss side number 1, view number 2, and then you will have to give conclusion. That's all. No opinion. But if it says discuss both views and give your opinion, in that case, you will paraphrase view number 1, view number 2, and then you will have to give your opinion. So, in case of agree and disagree, you can. In double question, problem solution, in those cases, or discuss both views, discuss the advantages and disadvantages, you don't have much freedom. And you should not be adventurous. Try to play safe, according to the given instructions. So here, you will organize it. You will plan it. Remember, people don't plan to fail. They fail to plan. Because they don't read the instructions. And once they read, they don't follow them. They don't follow them. They don't follow them. So that is why you will have to keep in mind that organize means you must have ideas. And now, how to put those ideas. So, till this 2 stages, we have discussed 2 W's. Number 1, what are you going to say? And number 2, how are you going to say it? So what are you going to say? These are the ideas. And how are the material? And how are you going to say? That is the format, the style, according to the given instructions. If you don't follow the given instruction, you will lose 25% marks because task accomplishment, that is 25%. If you don't follow that, your 25% marks are gone. But if you follow, you will. Now we'll move to the next stage, and that is rewriting. Here you'll have to do 3 things only. Just remember 3 things. Number 1, add. Number 2, delete. Number 3, modify. Add, delete, and modify. So what will you add? You look at your essay. You have planned paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, and you think paragraph number 2, it needs some more information. You need to substantiate some point. So here you can add if it lacks in something. If you think, no, I've given something extra, you will have to delete that because it should be proportional. Because it should be. And modify, if you think, no, the ideas are good, but I need to modify them, to change it a little bit. You can paraphrase, you can write it in a different way. So that is how you will have to do it. And once you are planning, pre-writing, writing it, you will have to remember one thing about the essay, and that is, your essay is like an organism. Essay is like?
Organism.
An organism. Why an essay is like an organism? Because an organism has 3 things. Number 1, it is complete. It is complete. An animal is complete. It has all organs. Number 2, different organs are well connected. They are well connected. And number 3, they are proportionate. They are proportionate. First thing is complete. Your essay will have all organs. What are the organs? Introduction, start, body paragraphs, and then conclusion. And connected. Different parts should be well linked because your essay must have cohesion and coherence in it. It should be a complete whole, not in parts. A holistic view of the essay will be taken. The examiner will take a holistic view of the essay. It should not be beautiful in pieces, but when you piece those parts together, it should become more beautiful. And proportionate. Like introduction will be short, 35 to 55 words. Body paragraphs will be bigger than that, 60, 70, 80. And conclusion will also be short, because it's short essay, 250 words minimum. In that case, your introduction should be around 55, not more than that. Conclusion, 50, 55, not more than that. Body paragraph should be a bit bigger, so that it makes 250. You don't fall short of words. Because if you fall short of words, if your number of words are fewer than 250, you there's a penalty. You will lose marks for that. So that is why try to keep that count complete. Try to. And complete means introduction, at least 2 body paragraphs. More than 2, that is, you can write 2, 3, 4. But for essay, at least it must be 2 body. Otherwise, it will not become an essay. It will become a report. And connected, different parts should be well linked. They should be well linked. And proportionate. That is, different parts are in proper proportion. Introduction, short. Conclusion, short. Body paragraphs, they are bigger and almost equal size. It should not be like sometimes when people do, second paragraph is 3 lines and the next paragraph is 8 lines. Then 4 lines and then, no. It means that you have not planned well. That is step number 1. That is, here you will do that in home. You know, an American president was asked to deliver a speech and he said, if you want the best speech, I need at least 15 days. If you need an average speech, then 1 week is enough. And if it is you want a bad speech, then tell me where to deliver because I'm ready. Because for bad speech, you don't need to plan, prepare. So you will have to prepare, you know. You will have to prepare for the essay, you will have to work on it, and that is at home. You have a lot of time. Select the topics and then work on them. Some topics from education, governance, medical. These days, coronavirus or COVID-19, that's a big issue, so you should work on these sort of topics. Medicine, healthcare, these topics are very important. And your examiner may include such topics. You know, first, prepare all health topics, all health topics. And then you can also work on like governance, education, these topics as well. They are very good. So this is step number 1. And we have completed it. Now we're moving to the next step. And what is the next step? The next step is you will have to keep in mind what is it that the examiner wants from you. What is it that the examiner wants from you? What is it that the examiner wants from you? Number 1. Number 2. 3. 4. 5. 7. 8. Number 1, TA or TR. Number 2, GR, NA, CC, LR, off topic, underline, illegible, and memorized. These are the key topics. First thing is task accomplishment. Or task response. This is the first point. Task accomplishment or task response. How you respond to it, and number 2, whether it is complete or not, according to the given statement. Now, you know, in your essay, there are 2 things. Number 1, the given topic. And number 2, these are the instructions. First is the given topic, and second thing is, these are the given instructions. So you will have to keep in mind both these things. These. And number 2 is grammatical range and accuracy. Grammatical range and accuracy. That is another important point. Grammatical range. Number 1, you will have to give a range. Whereas Shakespeare says, variety is the spice of life. Aldous Huxley, he says, consistency is contrary to nature. It is contrary to life. The only completely consistent people are the dead ones. So, you will have to give a variety in your grammatical range. Number one, use different tenses. You will have to show your skill to the examiner. You will have to prove to the examiner that you have a fairly good command of language, especially syntax. You know, grammar is of two types. One is grammar of words, that is called morphology. And the other is grammar of sentence, that is called syntax. So you'll have to show variety in syntax, different tenses, similarly use of auxiliary verbs and modal verbs, tenses, and usage. Plus one more thing that you'll have to especially keep in mind if you want to get a good score. That is, try to include sentences. You know, master three types. Number one, simple. Number two, compound. And then complex or compound complex sentences. Especially complex sentences. You'll have to write at least 4 in every essay. You will have to write at least 4 complex sentences. If you want to get a 7 band, you will have to, number one, that is TA or TR. Because here you need 25% marks. 25% marks are for this. And number two, this is crucial. If grammatically it's incorrect, so you can't get a good score, acceptable score. So these two factors are very important, extremely important. And here, number one, correctness, accuracy, that is the key. Range, variety. Number two, that is complex sentences. You will have to use them. Number three, you know what is the length of sentence? On average, an American student, graduate, university graduate, writes 29 words per sentence. How many? 29 words per sentence. And a British or an English student studying in England or English universities, his average, a graduate from American universities, is average in writing one sentence. The average length of a sentence is 29 words per sentence. And British student or English student, his average is 18 words. And Pakistani student, his average is 8 words, 8 to 9 words here. Even Dawn newspaper, and even name Dawn, it should be the, before newspapers we use the, but you know. Here, if you look at the length of sentence, that's a problem. So you will have to work on that, and you will cover it by writing complex sentences. That is how you can, every essay must have at least 4, so that the examiner should be able to justify the score that he is given. You know, examiners cannot give you a score because your writing is beautiful. Yeah, if it is beautiful, that's good. But higher scores, you will have to earn them. You will have to earn those scores. Examiners cannot give them. They are willing to, but you will have to give them some ground, some justification for that. Because if I'm giving a good score, I'm answerable to my superiors, so I should be able to justify it. And CC, that is cohesion and coherence. Number one, there should be logical flow of your essay, first thing is. Number two, it should be according to the format and given instructions. Number three, when you're writing arguments, for example, first argument should be the most important, then less important, then least important. In the same way, if you're writing some incident or event, you should write first cause, what caused it, how it played out, how it happened, and then what was the consequence. So it will be in 3 parts when you're going to write the essay. And coherence, that is connected. Like you can use number one, logical flow. First write the most important, then less important, then least important. Number two, according to the format, introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion. Number three, advantages, disadvantages. First always write positive, and then you go for negative. It is never, it has never been a practice to write negative first and then positive. Similarly, if you're writing incident or event, it should be in parts. If you're writing a process, it should be in steps or phases. And in the same way, next thing that you can do, that is, you will have to write linkers. Try to use linkers, connective words, conjunctions, transition words. Like you can, when you give your opinion, how do you give your opinion? You can give some sort of hint to the examiner, and you can say, in my opinion. Never say according to me. You know, according to me is incorrect. You will have to say, according, in my opinion. I think that. Number two, when you're going to write first body paragraph, you should say, first of all, to begin with, to start with, first and foremost, initially, that will be the first. then if you are giving arguments, first, second, and third, you can say firstly, secondly, thirdly, or you can say first, in addition, moreover, similarly, or within the paragraph, if you're writing things in sequence, or more than one thing but they are similar, more than one things and they are similar, you can say first, moreover, in addition, besides. So try to link them. Try to link them, and that will be like these are indicators, or they are some sort of hint words. For example, if you are coming or going to a market or to your home, before your home you give an indicator. You know, the indicator does not have any mechanical connection with the steering. You'll have to maneuver the steering and then you can turn left or right. But still you give an indicator. Why? Because you want to tell the traffic that is following you that these are your next intentions. So similarly, these linkers are sort of hint words for the next examiner. These are for the next examiner. They can be helpful to the examiner. You want to tell the examiner that, you know, that is my next move. Now I'm going to write a similar paragraph, similar to the previous idea, or I'm going to write something opposite to what I've already written. So with the very first word, but, however, it means you're going against that first paragraph. Now this idea is, but if you're writing secondly, thirdly, it means these are steps. If you're writing to conclude, in conclusion, to sum up, it means you're going to conclude, wind up. So that is, you'll have to use linkers in this way, it'll be, and also try to give variety, because you know what happens sometimes, like when I check essays, examiners, students sometimes, like in one essay, they give 7 examples or 6. You know, before each example, they use word for example. For example, try to give some variety. For example, for instance, such as, like try to give one example, try to give some variety. And don't use the same words over and over again. Similarly, you can use adjectives, adverbs, try to give some variety. Next thing is lexical resource. Lexical resource. Now, that is your vocabulary. You'll have to show your strength in writing the essay. Number 1, don't repeat words. Number 2, don't use spoken English or colloquial words. Number 3, don't use slangs. Number 4, avoid contractions and such things. So try to make it formal English. Try to write formal English. That is something which will be appreciated by the examiner. So for this, try to learn new words every day. Try to learn words about medicine, about health, about education, about these. Similarly, try to have some variety, groups of words, try to learn them so that you don't repeat those words. You can give variety in your words. And off topic, this is a very important point. You know, sometimes students, they don't plan this. So what happens? They go off topic. How can you remain, you know, no digression at all. You should not digress. No digression. You will have to remain to the point. And that is where you will have to plan the essay. Once you have done writing and that. And when you're writing the essay, in that stage, you will have to, number 1, plan. Number 2, writing. Number 3, that is editing. So you will have to work on number 1, planning, number 2, writing, and number 3, that is editing. Great things. Plan, write. So what will you plan? Planning. That is, you will have to plan number 1, number 2, number 3. Planning number 1, that is introduction. Then you will go for body paragraph. And number 3, that is the conclusion. First introduction, then body paragraphs, and then conclusion. First one is Here you will give introduction, one short paragraph. That will be one short paragraph. Then you go for body paragraphs, and in the end, that will be your conclusion. Here, one short paragraph. Here you can write 2 to 5 bigger body paragraphs. Bigger body paragraphs. Body paragraph. And here you will write one short paragraph for conclusion. In this way, you won't go off topic because you've already planned to the point. If you understand the topic, then you plan according to the given instructions. You will not go off topic. And once you're writing the essay, you must follow your plan. Your plan. And underline. Here, minimum word limit is 250 words. So you must write 250 plus. But you know, if you want to get 7 band or higher score, then 250 is not enough. Try to write a bit longer. Yeah. Because that's too short. That is too short. But minimum 250. So you will have to, calculate your average speeds or average number of words per line and then per page. So you can guess, like you take any 3 lines randomly, right now as you've written, take any 3 lines, count the number of words, and then divide them by 3. That's your average per line, and then multiply it with the lines on the page number. And that is your average speed per page. And then if you are in 2 pages, double it, 3 pages, triple it. Now that is how you can calculate your speed. So you should know how many words do you write on one page, on a single page. You must know your speed. What is your number of words per page? Speed and number of words. So you can check it, and that will be good for you, because you should not be confused whether I have written full or not. You should know it now. And illegible, that is your handwriting. It should be neat and clean. But nowadays exams are on computer, And after this COVID virus, now everybody, education will be transformed completely, I think. Because in America, even schools are closing. Canada, USA, even Germany has given high alert yesterday. And so many countries they are. So education will be revolutionized. That will be. And once I read an essay about future that was science fiction, in which the concept of education was reformed. Like children used to play in the playground in the morning, the whole day, and when they used to come back and they used to sleep, through their pillows, a dream was simulated, and through dream they used to find themselves in the same playground where they were playing with 2 seniors, a boy and a girl. And their seniors used to welcome them, and they used to start singing and playing again, and through that they used to start teaching them. So I think now, this was I read like 20 years ago, or maybe 22 years ago, and today I see the same situation. We have reached the same stage. We will have to include and integrate social media, YouTube, and these things. Now every school, every teacher, they will have to be there. Even schools, colleges, from third world countries to developed countries. So that is something which we'll have to do. So it is nowadays computer based, online. That is very common. Almost all exams will be within 10 to 20 years. You will see that almost 90% or at least 50% of your paper will be online everywhere. Or at least alternative will begin. Already international exams, they give this option that you can take campus, or you can take computer based or online. So this is where if you are taking computer based tests, then you don't need to worry about writing. But if you are taking pen and paper based tests, then you should be careful about it. And that is where it should be, your handwriting must be legible, neat and clean. At least it should be readable. At least it should be readable. Because sometimes the examiners cannot read what you have written. That is the problem. Memorized. It should not be memorized. It should be original. It should be original. It should be original. That is very important. It should be original. It means your own effort. Don't cram. It should not be crammed up material. When people do, students, they cram information and pages and they try to know. That is not how you should develop this habit of writing or essay. This is not how essay can be written. No, you'll have to write your essay on your own. It should be independently. You should be able to write that. And most important point of this second stage. First stage we discussed. Then second stage of a lecture. And the last point is personal touch. Your essay must have personal touch. Personal touch. You know what is personal touch? Personal touch is like your own stamp on it, you know. As you remember in class 9th, 10th or first year, second year, or in BA English, you have a question, or BA Urdu, you have a question that there are 3 lines, or 3 poetry lines, or 3 lines from prose, and the students are asked to write, explain with reference to the context. The students have to tell reference, context, and then they'll have to write. So this is personal touch. That this person is Shakespeare, this poet is Iqbal, this is Ghalib, this is Dante, Guerre, or P.B. Shelley, or Keats, or you guess by just 3 lines. You know how? Because the examiner has his own personal touch on it, personal stamp on it, his own identity. So you will have to create your personal touch in your essay. The examiner should feel that yes, this is something original and genuine effort by the student. You know, let me give you some examples. Like for example, you study poetry, drama, novels, movies. You see so many movies. All movies are on the same topics, but they're different. They are different. That is personal touch. Every movie is different. No copy, originality. Similarly, you watch dramas. All dramas are different. Although topics are similar, life is the same. Elementary passions are the same, but they are. Similarly, poetry or poems can be on same topic, but they're different. For example, number 1, life. If that is the topic, you'll find so many poems about life, you know. And it is, for example, Shakespeare says, life is nothing but the way you think. Or in Hamlet, he says, whether it's nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To be or not to be is another, like this is from To Be or Soliloquy. It's a very famous soliloquy by Hamlet, written by Shakespeare. And William Blake says, in the face of every person I meet, I see marks of sufferings, marks of woe. Very tragic picture of life. P.B. Shelley, he defines life as, oh, lift me. He defines life as a tragedy. Oh, lift me as a wave, a leaf, a cloud. I fall upon the thorns of life. I bleed. Similarly, John Keats and other poets, they define life differently. Faz Ahmad Faz, he defines life as, दिल से बेहम ख्याल कहता है कितनी शीरीं है जिंदगी इस पल जुल्म का जहर घोलने वाले कामना हो सके या आज न कल जलवागाहे विसाल की शब कर चुके हैं अगर वो गुल भी तो क्या चांद को गुल करें तो हम जाने. The moon in these ones stands for eternal hope, life. Similarly, in another place, Faz says, Matae loho kalam chin gayi to kya hum hai. In Pakistan, media is not free in third world countries usually. So you know what Faz says? Matae loho kalam. Loho kalam means pen and paper, or slab on which you write, or block on which you write. Matae loho kalam chin gayi to kya hum hai. कि खूने दिल में डबोली हैं उंगलियां में जुबान पे मोहर लगी है मताए लोहो कलम छिन गई तो क्या गम है कि खूने दिल में डबोली हैं उंगलियां मैंने जुबान पे मोहर लगी है तो क्या कि रखती है हर एक हल्के जंजीर में जुबान में. Similarly, last another line very beautiful. He says, बला से हमने न देखा तो और देखेंगे फरोगे गुलशन सोते हजार का मौसम. And Iqbal's life poem about Zindagi, the title is also Zindagi, it's in Payam Mashriq. It's a very beautiful poem. He says, Shabezawar Nali Dabre Bahar, Ke in Zindagi, Gir Gaye Payamast. The whole night the cloud of spring season kept on weeping and said, life is the other name of weeping. Cloud, raindrops are like tears. Darakshi Barke Subuk Siluguf, Khata Karde Khande Yakmas. In the meanwhile, the lightning struck and said, you have misconstrued the meaning of life. Life? Darakshi, lightning struck and said, no, I shine. That is how my brightness is my life. Last lines. Nidanam bagulshan ke burde khabar sukhanha mayane gurusham namaste. Iqbal says, I don't know who brought this news from the skies to the earth. When I reached my garden, I heard the same conversation between the flower and the dewdrop. The dewdrop was saying, my life is like a tear. And the flower blossomed and said, smiled, and said, this is my life. Another line, Karmi Kitabi Iqbal says very beautifully. He says, Shunidam Shagidar Kutub Khane Man, Baparman Amigu Kirme Kitab. One night I was sitting in the library and a termite and a firefly, they had a conversation. The firefly and the termite says that I have lived my life in the books of Abu Nasr Farabi and many other philosophers. I licked their books, termites, they lick books. But he said, I couldn't understand, the wisdom of Nafamidam Hikmate Zindagida. Basidi the Mazmuskai fire means I lived in the books of Farabi, but I couldn't understand what is the wisdom of life. He says, to me it seems as if my days are in the darkness. Days means when there's sunlight. In spite of having knowledge. And but that firefly, he says it is something else. So there's a dialogue between them. Similarly, there is also another poem about life, that is Urdu poem. The name of the poem is Dusra Kinara. Everybody wants to go the other bank. So there's a young boy, he wants to go to the other bank. When he reaches the other bank, over there the poem ends. And the poem ends, and the ending of the poem is मैं उस किनारे पे जाके उतरा तो उस किनारे भी रेत के ज़र्रे जल रहे थे. He was not happy on this bank. He wanted to the other bank. When he reached there, मैं उस किनारे, and the poem ends. दूसरा किनारा. The other bank is always there, So that is the theme. मैं उस किनारे पे जाके उतरा तो उस किनारे भी रेत के ज़र्रे जल रहे थे और उनके सीनों पे चंद कदमों के महव होते हुए निशान थे. मुझे वो मिटते हुए निशान ये बता रहे थे कि इस किनारे पे रहने वाले अभी अभी थोड़ी देर पहले कहीं किसी दूसरे किनारे की जुस्तजू में समंदरों में उतर गए. दूसरा किनारा. So life, all these examples are from life, but every poet has his own personal touch. So create your own personal touch. Don't try to copy. That is what makes your essay. Originality is the key. Originality, that is the key. So you will have it. So this is the end of the second part of the lecture. Now we move to the third part. And that is, when you're writing the third part of the essay, here you will have to keep in mind the first two parts. You should not forget the first two parts. And then we will move to the third stage. And that is, in third stage, you will have to write number 1, introduction, number 2, body paragraph, and number 3, that is your conclusion. So these are the 3 parts in your essay. In your introduction, what are you going to write in the introduction? Well, in introduction, you will have to, number 1, you will have to paraphrase. Paraphrase the given topic. Like overseas studies, more and more people prefer to go overseas for higher education. We will have to, is it a good idea to go for overseas studies, or one should stay in one's own country? Which form of music is better, modern music or traditional music? So here, you will have to paraphrase. You will have to read the question statement, understand and interpret it, and then underline the keywords. And after underlining the keywords, you will have to rewrite those words in your own words. And after paraphrase, you will have to see the instructions. If in the instructions you have been told to give your opinion, like if with the essay, the instructions are, do you agree or disagree with the statement? Or to what extent do you agree or disagree? Or how far do you agree or disagree with the statement? In that case, you will have to write side number 1 and side number 2. View number 1 and view number, like here, if you are going to write paraphrase, and then if the examiner says to what extent do you agree or disagree, or how far do you agree or disagree, here you will have to give your opinion. You will have to give your opinion, like in my opinion, I think that, otherwise you will not give your opinion. You will not. If the essays discuss both views, then you will not give your opinion. If the essay discuss the advantages and disadvantages, you will not give your opinion. But if the topic is discuss both views and give your opinion, then here you will not give your opinion. You will discuss view number 1, view number 2, and then conclusion. So let's start with paraphrase, like discuss both views. For example, if the topic is capital punishment should be abolished or not, discuss both views and give your opinion. So here you will write, what is capital punishment? What is capital punishment? You will have to define the topic, and it is, capital punishment is death penalty. Whether you will define what is death penalty, and then you will paraphrase the given statement as it is given, that is given for serious crimes. And those people who commit serious crimes, they are given death penalty. And view number one, you will discuss view number one, why it should be given, and view number two, why it should be abolished. Like European countries, European Union, there is no capital punishment there. Scandinavia, there is no capital punishment there. So you will have to tell why, because that's a concept of welfare state. Those countries which have capital punishment, they believe that it's a kind of deterrence. It's a kind of Damocles sword. It's hanging over your head. If you commit a crime, you'll be killed. You'll be hanged. So it is a kind of fear. It keeps a check on crime. And weaker sections of the society, they feel protected from the stronger sections of the society. And those people who are against it, they say that it is inhumane. Number one, very cruel. You know, electrocution, gasification, or chopping your head off. It's very cruel. Number two, it's irreversible. If you make a mistake, if you're a judge and you make a mistake, you cannot bring the person back. And number three, it is not reformatory. There is no reform. The person gets killed. And the criminal is also in fact the victim, because usually poverty breeds crime, and most of the criminals are poor. So poverty pushes them to crime, and then they are misused, exploited by the mafias, and then those boys get killed, you know. And these owners of crime families, they become politicians and rich people, and you know, nothing happens to them. Rarely, very rarely, that a big wig will be punished. That is very rare. That is very rare. So usually the criminal is the victim, and that will be. So in fact, instead of killing those poor people, we should reform the society. So these are two schools of thought. Number one, view number one is it keeps a check on crime by creating a sort of fear and protecting the weaker segment of society, and like making the rich people or strong people realize that, you know, it's a Damocles sword. If you kill somebody, you'll be killed. And while view number two is no, it does not, because poor people, they are usually the victims of this, and strong people usually they are, you know, they cannot be caught or they cannot be punished. Even if they're arrested, they cannot be punished. And we have seen recently in many courts in Asian countries, African countries, in Pakistan, there are many examples. And it's inhumane, it's irreversible, and it's not reformable. So that is why. Discuss both views, and here in the end, you will give your opinion whether it should be abolished or it should not be abolished. It should not. Similarly, if the topic is money can buy us happiness or not, you can say yes, money can buy us happiness, or you can say no. Or you can say no. If you say yes, money can buy us happiness, then all your body part will be arguments for, arguments against. And if you say no, then it will be against. If you say yes, then it will be for. According to your opinion. According to you. If it is discuss the advantages and disadvantages, like media. Media has more positive impact or negative, discuss the advantages and disadvantages. In that case, number one, you will say media. Advantages are information, entertainment, and awareness, causes. Like about this virus, media has, spread this awareness, information to people. And number two, you can say media is a monster. It is a monster. Media is after ratings, revenues, like these things. So media wants more and more money. And in the end, you will give your opinion. You will give your opinion. So it is, when you write, or social media has more positive or negative impact. Number one, social media, connectivity. Loneliness, you know that. And negative side, you can say that it's virtual, not real. It is still you are alone, you know, because we are emotional beings. Conclusion, like social media is a new form of, you can say it's a new form of media, and it's a completely new field. And it has almost dominated lives. Nowadays, it has done in a very short span of time. It has made people rich, it has made people famous, and it's a parallel. Why? Because you don't need to create content for this. For television, you need to create content. Here, Customers, they create content. You have your own wall, I have your own wall. So I am not teaching on my wall. I can create my own content. You can create your own content. And freedom of expression. CNN, maybe they will not give me time. Never in my life. But I can start my own channel. You can start your own channel. You can say whatever you want. You can be heard. If you have some substance, people will listen to you. So that is why positive and negative, and then if it is agree or disagree, that will be a bit different. That will be a bit different. In case of agree or disagree, that will be a bit different. You know, it will be number one, the topic. Number one, it will be first. In case of do you agree or disagree, or to what extent do you agree or disagree, that will be the given statement. Then you will have the thesis statement, and then the grounds on which you are going to justify your opinion. So, given statement is, what is the topic? What is the topic? What is the topic? Then, thesis statement, that is your position on the topic. Your position on the topic. And grounds are the arguments. Arguments you're going to give in the body paragraph. So here, you will give arguments number 1, argument number 2, argument number 3, and 1 counter argument. Argument 1, argument 2, argument 3, and that. And in the end, number 1, you will give length of conclusion. Number 2, sum up the discussion. Number 3, take it to the climax. Give an air of finality. And look into the future. Look into the future. So that is number 1. Here you will give argument 1. For example, who lives longer? So the main idea is longer life. Some people, two sides are, some people believe men are likely to live longer, others believe women. But in my opinion, women are likely to live longer. Why? Because of dangerous, sudden deaths, and suicide. So that is the introductory paragraph. I've written the topic, I've written my opinion, and I've also written what I'm going to write in the body paragraph, or why I think so. Why I think women are likely to live. So my first body paragraph will be about dangers. About dangers. My second body paragraph will be about sudden deaths. So my first line will be the main idea here of each paragraph. Then suicide. You can also make more paragraphs like cholesterol level, and like in army wars, usually men they die in World War I, World War II, mostly boys they die. Women also sacrifice, but usually they are the victims. So here, look, given topic, then my opinion, and then grounds only. So danger years. This you will convert it into a sentence. Danger years are deadlier for boys. They are deadlier for boys than for girls, or they are more fatal for boys than for girls, or they cost more lives in boys than female. They cost more male lives than female lives. Or danger years are more dangerous to boys than to girls, as more boys die or are likely to die in this age. Then you will explain how. Justify, how, substantiate, supporting sentences. This is the main idea. Each paragraph you have taken from the introduction, because we have freedom to express our opinion. So we express opinion, and then we told why we express that opinion, why we have that opinion. So here you will explain why you believe that danger years are more dangerous for boys than for girls. Why they are more dangerous? Because they are one meeting, car racing, rowdyism, bullying, adventures, thrills, all these sort of things are common among boys, not among girls. So that's why boys are more likely to die in young age. Usually 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. More boys are likely to die than girls. You know? 5 to 6 times, in fact, as a matter of fact. Sudden deaths. Sudden deaths are again more common among boys than girls. You know why? Because sudden deaths are caused by heart attack, cancer, these sort of things. And these heart attacks and these sort of things are caused because of alcohol, drinking, smoking, drugs, these sort of, and these things are more common among boys, men, not girls. So that is why, again, sudden deaths are more common among boys. And men, suicide. No, you know, suicide is because of pressure in your family, broken family relationships, or failure in life, or failure in business. So what happens? Usually people commit suicide. And you know, all over the world, according to surveys, what is the percentage of suicides among both men and women? 75% of the suicides that are committed, two-thirds, they're men. Yeah, two-thirds. So, you know what we have done? We have given the topic, then opinion, and then we are developing each paragraph. And each paragraph is supporting our position. You know? So that is how you will develop that. And in the end, counter-argument here. You know, some people believe that here you will give linker of contrast. That is, on the other hand, on the contrary. Here you will write, first of all, moreover, in addition, there is a linkers of addition. Here you will have linker of contrast. Men, some people believe that men are likely to live longer because they are strong, they have stamina, they are mobile, they can afford medicine and everything. So that's why men. But in fact, if you look at supercentenarians, like those people who are 110 or above, most of them, or overwhelming majority of them, they are women. They're not men. So most of those people who have the highest stages, they are women. Sometimes 96%. And then you will conclude. Linker of in a nutshell, or to sum up, to conclude, or to recapitulate. Men are not, although it is supposed that men are likely to live longer, but actually that is not the case. In fact, it's the women who are who are generally considered weak, but they are likely to live longer because life-enhancing factors they favor them, and life-threatening factors work against men. So that's why women are likely to live longer as compared to their counterparts. As compared to men, women are likely. You know, one more point I would like to here revise that. Introduction, paraphrase. But if you have been given freedom to express your opinion, in that case you will give your opinion, and then you will mention the grounds on which. Otherwise you will not. Otherwise you will not. And body paragraph, you know how you write. Here, just remember one simple. Give me just a few more minutes so that I can explain that. Here, you know, when you write body paragraph, look, either you can develop a body paragraph like a cell. Why? Because a cell has a nucleus. And one cell has only one nucleus. It has only one. Or you can develop it like an inverted pyramid. Like a pyramid. A pyramid means start with a specific idea and then you can generalize it. Here, you will start with a specific idea. With a specific idea, and then you can develop it here. You can develop it, and here you can generalize it. You can. And link it with the main idea. Or you can follow this approach. Inverted pyramid approach. That is called inverted pyramid approach. Here you will start with a broader statement. Start with a broader statement, and then you will give examples, evidence, and data. Here you can give examples, evidence, and data. And here you make that specific point. Make that specific point that will link it with the main idea. You know, examples should be given here. You cannot start your sentence with for example. And or you can follow this approach. Number 1, number 2, and then these are number 3. Like that is how you can. First is linker, then you will write the focus sentence, and then you will write the supporting sentence 1, supporting sentence 2, supporting sentence 3, supporting sentence 4, and in the end you will write the revise and linking sentence. You know, that is how you will develop your essay. Now, last point of today's lecture. Number 1. That is, remember when you're writing the essay, remember one simple point, and that is your essay must have only one letter. Only one letter, and that is C. C stands for clarity. Stands for clarity. Clarity is the key. whenever you're going to write an essay, you know what is the most important thing? That is clarity of ideas. You are clear about the topic, you are clear about the arguments, you are clear about the format, you are clear about formats, you are clear about the style, you are clear about language, you are clear about number of words. Your clarity is the key, and most important thing is clarity of ideas. What is the topic? What is the central idea? What are the supporting ideas? Clarity is the key. Clarity is the key. If you are clear, you'll be clear. If you're not clear about it, then it'll be very difficult. You must be clear. No matter how difficult things are, one day you will achieve. You know, one day you will achieve that, no matter how difficult it is. There was a boy in Germany. There was a boy in Germany. And he used to look at the stars and used to say that one day I will make machines or they will reach them. And you know that boy, Hitler saw that boy, he made him in charge, but unfortunately or fortunately Germany was defeated, and then you know that boy was taken by the Americans. And you know Apollo 11 mission, who sent that? It was the same boy. His name is Werner von Braun. You can verify it. Operation Paperclip. So you can see that, you know, no matter how difficult, if you are clear about what you're going to do, you will achieve that. You will achieve that. So you should be clear about the topic. Number two, if you are clear, it is highly likely, you know, in every likelihood, you will be correct. You will be correctness. Your essay will be correct. And if you are clear, there will be correctness in it. And if you are correct, then you know, what will you earn? Credibility. And that is the key. If your essay, you are a credible person, examiner will give you a good score. Clear, correct, credible. Clear, correct, credible. And also make it, if all these things are there, then it means that you are a complete person and your essay is complete. So that is your key. Most important point about the essay is the last point. C. Clarity, correctness, credibility, completeness. You must be clear, you will be correct. Clear, correct, credible, it will be complete. That's all. That is all. So that is the key. And you must have, for doing all these things, you must have positive mental attitude. You must have positive mental attitude. If you have positive mental attitude, you'll be successful. If you don't have positive mental attitude, you won't be able to write the essay. Because nobody remembers this man. There was a man, William Pierpont Lang. Government gave them thousands of dollars to make some sort of flying machine. But you know, he couldn't. He was given coverage. New York Times, they gave him coverage according, equal to American president. He had direct access to American president, but he could not make that. But you know, around at the same time, a few hundred miles from where he was working, there were two brothers. They were working on the flying machine. But you know, they were not graduate. None of the team members, nobody was graduate. But and when they took their first flight, nobody was there to clap for them. But you know, they had a vision and they knew they were going to do it. So once you have that positive mental attitude, you can write an essay. That's wonderful. Good luck. Thank you very much. Any questions? Yeah, if you have any questions.